The rich woman accidentally bumped into someone. She panicked and called the police. Unexpectedly, two men suddenly rushed out behind her. One looked at the crowd. The other one slapped her and stunned her. Then she covered her mouth and dragged her to the van. The one who was hit didn't pretend. He took the woman's bag and followed her to the car. This is a long-awaited kidnapping. The woman is a famous rich woman in the city. She lives in a mansion and drives a luxury car. But she was also lured by the desire of a bandit. The three men finally picked a quiet street a few days later. They hit each other. The woman panicked and struggled. She was tied to her hands and feet. She covered her mouth and put on a headgear. She was taken to this desolate mountain. She was in danger. What should she do now? The woman forced herself to calm down. She tried to find the bandit. She begged for mercy first. She said she was wrong. She would pay any amount of money, but the bandit said it was 10 million yuan. Big brother, I don't have so much money. Unexpectedly, the bandit rushed in. He stabbed her thigh with a knife. She finally understood. This is a group of murderers. As expected, the bandit's chest was exposed. Take the bandage first. In a critical moment, the woman panicked. She said she didn't have so much money, but she still transferred 100,000 yuan. She let the bandit taste the sweetness. Then she let out her right ear. She said she still had 3 million yuan at home. She asked the bandit to come and get it. In the end, she took the initiative to make a loan. She said she would make up the remaining 7 million yuan in a few days. She saved her life for the time being. The three murderers opened their eyes. The third brother stayed here to guard. The eldest brother and the second brother went to the woman's house. They opened the safe. As expected, they found a huge amount of money. They were excited. They celebrated on the spot. And this shocked the woman. She deliberately lured the eldest brother and the second brother away. It was because through a long observation, she had long discovered that among the three bandits, the third brother was timid and cowardly. He loved to take advantage of others. It's best to coax such a person. Soon, the woman began to save herself. The first step was to lure. She said she was thirsty first. Let the third brother drink water for her. Let her relax her vigilance. As expected, the third brother was stunned. The second step was to show weakness. I have 5 cards. Each card can hold 20,000 yuan, a total of 100,000 yuan. She cried and said she was very hungry. She asked the bandit to get the money. She helped him buy a bag of chips. She gave him all the rest of the money. Please help me. Seeing the poor woman, plus the temptation of 100,000 yuan, the third brother was soft-hearted. He agreed to this request. As soon as she went out, the woman began to struggle crazily. She took off her headgear, picked up the iron money on the ground, and cut open the lock. Time is tight. She must hurry to escape. The door is locked from the outside. If she can't get out, she will jump out of the window. She hit the window hard. She finally escaped the maze. But at this time, the bandit came back. He saw the empty chair. He was so angry that he chased her out. The woman hid beside the bush and passed by with him. He crawled up the mountain. The bandit chased after him. He covered his mouth and hid under the stone bridge. There was a fierce bandit above him. It was too dangerous. He ran to the road. He met a vegetable vendor. The police received a call from the police. You kidnapped a hostage, but the danger is not over yet. The bandit still found the woman. He hit the vendor with a stick. The tricycle was stuck on the side of the road. The bandit took the woman and hugged her to wake her up. Do you want to kill me? Fortunately, the police arrived in time. In the end, the bandit was caught. The woman was also saved. However, what surprised the police was that they thought it was a simple case, but it involved an adult case. During the interrogation, the bandits said they had kidnapped a second-generation rich man 3 years ago. The second-generation rich man's hands were tied. He was running for his life, but he was too weak. He slipped and fell in the middle of the road. He almost had a car accident. He climbed up and hit the window of the car to ask for help from the passers-by. But he didn't expect that the man in the car was the devil who kidnapped him. 3 days ago, he was riding a new bicycle and was driving on the school road. Suddenly, a car was blocking the road. He accelerated and overtook the car, but he didn't notice the danger. When he opened his eyes again, he saw 3 poor and hungry bandits. The bandit stepped on his hand and asked for his father's phone number. The rich man was in pain and couldn't speak. Unexpectedly, the bandit was impatient and grabbed his finger with the pliers. But the torture was not over yet. The iron money went into his ear again. Soon, the rich man in the city received a call of robbery. The bandit asked for 5 million cash to pay for his son's life. The rich man was panicked and immediately collected the money. He came to the trading place alone, but he waited all night and didn't wait for the bandit to show up. The rich man quickly called the police and asked for help from the police, but it took 3 years. The rich man's son was missing and his life was not found. Until recently, the police caught a kidnapper of a kidnapped girl. He was one of the bandits 3 years ago. Through interrogation, the other 2 accomplices also fell into the net very quickly.